Now, I know if you've watched my channel before that I have done this several times before, and I haven't stuck with those clans, but I tend to like to start new ones and draw all these characters and then kind of lose inspiration to continue the series. But I am hoping that I'll continue to do this one as it is the summer now and I have lots of free time. Anyway, I digress. This is year 1 of Mothclan, and I was inspired to do this again by Nyoko Arts and Galaxy Clan, as mentioned in one of the other Clangen videos I did. And this one I also got inspiration from Peach Freckle, with a little underscore at the end, on Instagram, because they are doing the Clangen and all that sort of thing, and they also did personality sliders on the side, and I thought that was a really good idea, so I did something similar to that. So yeah. And so this one, they're in a forested territory, if you were curious about that. Alright, so first up in the clan is Dash Star, and he's not the greatest leader in the world, kind of unconfident with themselves, kind of just coasting through it. They're not very good with it, negotiating with other clans. They had bad relations with Clan on a patrol, and they needed to speak to Copperhaven due to dogs being reported, so that was kind of stressful for them. And on one of the patrols, I thought it was kind of funny and felt bad for them, was they were sprayed by a skunk when investigating a sound. I thought that was kind of funny. They also have lately been hearing StarClan voices, which is interesting because we don't have any cats in StarClan other than the StarClan guide, which I don't really count because every clan has one of those, so like I'm not drawing them. Their name's Riverpaw if you're curious, but they're kind of just there. But anyways, kind of interesting there. Maybe they're not StarClan voices. Maybe Dash Star is having some mental health issues. Who knows? One thing I've also found is that Dash Star takes Bright Frost very seriously, which is another warrior coming up, and really likes Bright Frost. And currently they're friends with Lion Rise. Next up is Copperhaven. So she is not a very good cat. She's very doesn't take many things very seriously, and generally just doesn't really want to be deputy. They're an amazing hunter and just want to spend their entire life hunting, and that's about it. And they're pretty, like, they're very confident though. Like they're fairly irresponsible, sorry. But they're very confident and lively, and they like other cats and stuff like that. They're just kind of lazy. And one thing that she did that I judged harshly on was she went on patrol without her apprentice, and on said patrol ate prey that she caught instead of giving it to the other warriors. We've got no elders or kits right now, but still, it's the point that you're supposed to bring back prey to the clan. And they were even thinking about retirement at only 90 moons. One kind of positive thing is that she does like to give a great deal of advice. Had that status many times. Next is Sage Freckle. And Sage Freckle is trying their best. They're really good with StarClan matters, talking with cats about, StarClan, and so far we haven't really had prophecies, but they really like that aspect. They also really love the half-moon meetings. They're bouncing up and down. They have that childish trait, so they were very excited about the half-moon meetings and like meeting new people. But they're not great with the herb side and the actual taking care. Like, so far they haven't had any medical disasters or anything like that. No one's died, no one has any scars, so Sage Freckle's been doing their job, but generally seems very overwhelmed by the herb side of things. They really like cats outside of the clan, which is kind of interesting, because they were seen asking a loner for help when it came to herbs, and then on another occasion they were with a member of Clan amid some tensions. So that was, interesting. We'll see what comes of that. They also seem to be quite the little love bug, considering that they were seen with a member of Slight Clan there, might be having a little bit of a half-clan fling. But they also have a requited crush with Tansy Fur, so hopefully that goes well. Tansy Fur is kind of an interesting cat, so you'll see about them later. And they're also friends with Lionrise. Lionrise is very popular. You might notice that I'm calling a lot of them they, and it's just because currently I don't have a lot of their stats written down. I'll be doing that next year, so that I'll be able to mention like their gender, their age, all that sort of thing in the recordings. But right now you can see it on screen, but I cannot, so I'm just kind of saying whatever. So if I mess up any genders, just kind of ignore that for this episode. Anyway, so next is Bright Frost, our first warrior, our oldest warrior. They've got some ambitions and have an interesting relationship with Dash Star. They want to be deputy a great deal, and they're kind of strange with Dash Star because they don't think that Dash Star is a very good leader. Like, they've had the status of thinking that they could be leading the clan better multiple times, but then also really wants to be noticed by them and has an unrequited crush on them. So it's kind of interesting. Kind of maybe like not a love-hate, but like a love-jealousy thing, maybe. I don't know, kind of interesting. They're also really friendly with outsiders, constantly talking to them and being really good with other clans while on patrol, so that's good. Generally, I'm very curious to see what happens with Dash Star and Bright Frost. These Dash Star does like them, but does not have a crush on them, so we'll see if that changes at all. Next is Heartdapple. Heartdapple joined the clan, I believe it was Moon 9. And they so far haven't really shown much personality. It's only been a couple of moons, so I don't know a whole lot about them. But they generally seem to be pretty nice. They seem to be pretty kind. They kind of keep to themselves. Haven't really been talking with most cats. And on the second moon, they were kind of second-guessing the safety of this clan they've joined. And generally, it doesn't seem like they really want to be here. They do seem to like Dash Star as well, and so that's good. Next is Tansy Fur. Tansy Fur is a harsh critic. They've got the, I forget what it was, like Fantastic Fighter or something like that. They're a good fighter. And so they're constantly telling people how to fight properly, but most cats seem to be very receptive of it. They're fairly popular. I guess that Tansy Fur is good at giving constructive criticism when it comes to it, and they were quite a role model for a group of apprentices. Now we've got no apprentices, but at the beginning of the year, 3 cats were apprentices, and now are warriors. But they all loved Tansy Fur and constantly were with them. So Tansy Fur seems to have a good relationship with young cats and really likes that. And I hope they get an apprentice. They haven't had one. And they also want to be deputy, which kind of goes with that. They've got, they're the ones that invited Heartdapple, and originally Heartdapple was injured, that's why they're in the clan, with a cat bite. I wonder what that was caused from, whether it was another loner, a rogue, or if it was a different clan. Kind of interesting. Maybe it was Slight Clan, because we've kind of had problems with them, so kind of interesting. Right now, Tansy Fur has got a requited crush with Sage Freckle, the medicine cat, so that's kind of interesting. And then they're friends with Shadefleck and Lionrise, who were our two out of the 3 apprentices that we had at the beginning of the year. So yeah. And then next is Rushfog. Rushfog really likes Tansy Fur. And they tend to have very interesting relationships with Squirrel Clan. They were looking for a cat in Squirrel Clan, one moon, and then a couple of moons later, on a patrol, some cats found an apprentice on the Squirrel Clan border that was begging to join our clan. Now, Rushfog wasn't on that patrol, so I think it would have gone a little differently if they were, because I believe that is the cat that they were looking for in Scroll Clan. Maybe they are related, or maybe Rushfog has run into that apprentice before, and they have said some concerning things about Scroll Clan. But the 3 cats that were on that patrol decided that it'd be a better idea to escort the apprentice back to their camp, like the Scroll Clan camp, instead of bringing them into our clan. So I hope that that apprentice is fine in Scroll Clan, but I believe Rushfog is probably pretty concerned about them for whatever reason. They also think that Dashstar is a good leader, but that was before the Scroll Clan apprentice incident, so I do not know if their opinion has maybe changed of Dashstar, which Dashstar was on that patrol and sent the apprentice back to their own clan. They're also friends with Lionrise, as everybody is, apparently. Next is Whisker Spots. They have the most notes. So they were originally an apprentice, and on their first patrol, I thought it was really cute. They shot up a tree to catch a bird instead of waiting for it to land or get closer. And their mentor, who was Copperhaven, was super proud and kind of surprised about that. So it was pretty interesting. And then they highly respected Tanzyfur. They were probably Tanzyfur's biggest voucher, I suppose, biggest yes man. So yeah, although they've got a fair dose of confidence, considering when they were an apprentice, they were giving advice to Dashstar, which I just love them for that. Copperhaven influenced them to be positive, have good morals, and speak before fighting. They were honored for their hard work. Whisker Spots also likes to compliment everybody constantly, notably Tanzyfur and Rushfog, which I think is very cute. They do have their hint of adventurousness, though, and have been wondering what kitty pet life is like a great deal. I don't think they would actually leave the clan to be a kitty pet, but they seem to wonder about different ways of life a great deal. And they have a requited crush on Lionrise, which that would be very cute. I think these two very, very spunky cats, I suppose, that are both very young, that would work very well. Next up is Lionrise, who is a very respectful apprentice. That's one thing I definitely noticed. And Lionrise has got kind of fits their name. They've got this want to be the best fighter and the best warrior they could possibly be. And yeah, although they're still not a hothead, I wouldn't say, they just want to be very good at what they do. And so they were mentored by Rushfog, and they were influenced to avoid violence, be very friendly, and also have trouble adapting, which I thought was kind of interesting. It's that's the opposite you want to teach your apprentice, but not every mentor is going to have a all positive influence. They were also honored for their hard work, so they go well with Whisker Spots. And like previously stated, they also have a crush on Whisker Spots. So hopefully maybe in a next year they'll become mates. And they are very young, so maybe wait a little bit to have any potential kits, but that's still something to look forward to. And then last but not least is Shadefleck. Shadefleck has been kind of keep to themselves. They haven't done a whole lot. They were seen playing with a kitty pet and were reprimanded by their mentor, who was also Copperhaven. And they kind of just don't understand why that was a problem. And they kind of just seem to be pretty quiet in their clan. I don't know 100% if Shadefleck wants to be in the clan, necessarily, since they don't really have strong relationships with anybody, and definitely haven't been as playful towards their own clanmates than they were that kit. That kitty pet, I should say. So, by Copperhaven, they were influenced to be adaptable, which is the opposite of Lionrise, and have strong morals. They were also honored for their transparency. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you think that my art is pretty good, and yeah, this was pretty fun. I really like doing these. No promises on a second episode, but I am hoping that I can do another one. These, like I said, now it's the summer. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can do some more interesting things with it. These, in the past, I haven't really done like my own generators. Like in Nyoko Arts Galaxy Clan, they tend to do like their own mass extinction events and all that sort of thing if nothing interesting happened that year. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. Right now we've got some interesting bunch of cats, so I think this will go fairly well. I think this is also a good one to work with. These, we really only have like 2 cats that I don't have a lot to talk about. Like, really it's just Heartdapple and Shadefleck that we gotta see how they turn out more. But I think it might just be because they're kind of introverted, which that's perfectly fine. Not every cat needs to be the most interesting or the most outgoing. So anyway, I digress once again. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.